The Tour de France.
Tour de France was a great 3 weeks, probably one of arguably the best tours that I've seen in 3 weeks, honestly.
One of the...
Three, I should say, in the last 3 years, not the last 3 weeks.
You think it was one of the best tours?
I thought that there was a lot of great things that happened, like on both sides.
What was the crowning moment for you of this year's tour? What was the best moment?
So I was a huge fan of Stage 11. So the Ventoux and the fact that there were 2 ascents of it this year was pretty exciting. Of course, Alaphilippe as the stage favorite going out and winning the ascent, the KOM points on the first climb. And then we get to the second climb, and there's this great battle for getting those points. Kenny Alissant was out front, and all of a sudden, before you know it, Wout van Aert just closes in the gap and then ultimately gets the KOM and, of course, wins the stage. And so there was a lot of excitement to the lead-in to what was going to actually happen later on in the tour, like foreshadowing. So there's Carapaz, and there's Pogacar, and Iran. They're all right there, just lined up behind each other, and it just really gave me good hope for what the rest of the tour was going to ultimately look like.
You know, I'm going to own up. I did not think that Stage 11 was going to be exciting. I thought that 2 ascents of Mont Ventoux going, racing over 200 kilometers, I think the stage was, I thought it was just too much. I did not think that it was going to be that dynamic. It was one heck of a stage. Seeing Alaphilippe attacking into the clouds on that first climb up Ventoux before they cleared away, that was really cool. And then, I mean, Wout van Aert, we're going to get into him a little bit later. My favorite moment, though, it has to be Stage 4 with Mark Cavendish.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I mean, can you believe it? The guy did it, and so Stage 4. This is the first time he's won a tour stage in 5 years. And not only that, but he has struggled to feature in any sprint prior to 2021. He just wasn't there. Like he put him in like a 2.2 UCI race, and he was like relatively anonymous. He wasn't featuring at the front. And on Stage 4, what he did, it was not an easy sprint. His Dakuna Quick-Step teammates had to blow themselves out in the final 5 kilometers because, remember, that's the stage that Brent Van Moor, the Lotto Soudal rider, just threw caution to the wind and nearly outran the peloton. It was like 500 meters or less that he got caught. So Mark Cavendish, he just looked like the last 5 years didn't happen.
Absolutely.
In that sprint. He did not have the picture-perfect lead out by Michael Morkov. His team blew up, and Cavendish just navigated this really hairy, hectic, save till the last minute lead out and came out ahead. It was... I thought that was just so special, and the emotions that were just on display on Mark Cavendish's face and just the entire Quick Step team. And I mean, the whole cycling world. You've just got to be happy to talk about a comeback.
Yeah, I'm kind of a champion for the older riders personally. It was great to see Cavendish come back out. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see Valverde do anything this year like we were predicting, or at least I was predicting. And so, that's okay. But to see Cavendish come out in the best form that he's ever been, and all those emotional wins, and God, it was amazing. It really brought the tour up for me.
I mean, that's the thing. You just looked at Cavendish, and he looked relaxed. And I think that as the tour went on, maybe the pressure started to build a bit, and we started to see the Cavendish of old, where he's like a little bit spicy in the interviews.
A little cocky.
a little bit cocky. Then that Facebook video came out of him giving his mechanics some abuse. And it's not good to see, but all sprinters kind of, they have that edginess. And I think that just in the world of cycling, nobody is really put under the same kind of like acute pressure load that sprinters are under, because nobody else is expected to go win 30 stages of a race. That's something that's very unique to a sprinter. Like, they line up in a sprint and they are expected to win. Whereas if you're a GC rider, you just stay in the mix. You just stay in the mix. And like, obviously there's pressure to that also, but it's not you cross the line first every time you get the opportunity. So that breeds pressure. And what we saw with Mark Cavendish, at least in the opening stages, was he was just relaxed, just so happy, and
lots of tears.
Lots of tears. I don't know. I love to see it. I've personally always been a Mark Cavendish fan, and seeing him come back in such an improbable way, we didn't think he was going to be in the tour. That was magic for me.